Hi, welcome to the Journey with Nicole YouTube channel. We're going to do an intuitive oracle tarot reading. I have 7 different decks here. I've already pre-shuffled. I will go ahead and cut. I'm going to cut them really quickly. This is the Journey with Nicole Mandala set. This is Nature Whispers. This is Fairy Oracle. We have the Starman Tarot. Just one of my favorites. Liquid Crystal, which I can't do a reading without this deck. Animal Medicine Spirit Animal Medicine cards, that's what those are. And the White Sage Tarot. This is just the major arcanas of the White Sage Tarot. All right, let's go ahead and get started and see what overall energy we have for this reading for the rest of October 2020. Let's bring in some crystal energy to start off. Tanzanite, which is the angelic messenger, which is very unique crystal that has just recently come into my awareness. The first time this card came up in a reading, I've had this deck for a very long time, was just a couple weeks ago, and now this is the third time it's come up. So it's all about being able to receive your messages from your higher spirit guides, and we'll just keep going, but it's just interesting that that came up. Green tourmaline, which is all about the Enlightenment period. Got the World, Ten of Swords, Propel. We've got a lot of action going on here. Vulnerability. Dreams coming true. Oh my goodness. Well, the World, dreams coming true, and happily ever after. Are you kidding me? Okay. Well, I see that there is a newfound awareness on an angelic level. It's all, the green tourmaline is about enlightenment. You have a whole new world before you, and the Ten of Swords this is really very incredible. So you have the World card, which is about, everything coming to its final completion, and it's a beautiful happily ever after type of card, right? Then you have the Ten of Swords, which is, the Ten of Swords is basically, and this is a perfect example of this card. I want to show you this. The Nine of Swords is about your ultimate, like a demise almost, right? Well, then the Ten of Swords comes in and says, oh no, I know who I am as a spiritual being, and I basically choose the path that I've learned a lot of lessons, and now I'm choosing the path that most resonates with me. And in my, especially in your spiritual walk, but in anywhere along your momentum, it's a momentum card as well. I'm going to grab the book and read it because he has a couple really good explanations for the Ten of Swords. Okay, now continuing here. The Sunshine, this is like the Sun card in the tarot, which is all about happy endings. You have the Happily Ever After, which I've had this deck for over 20 years. The first 10 years I had this deck, I gave myself a reading on it every day. I literally have only seen this come up in maybe 20 readings that I've done in the last 20 years. I actually pulled a card for a friend about a month ago, and this is the card that came up, and I'm still in shock over that one because this card just never comes up. And on occasion it'll come up with, say, a romantic partner, but this is all about the dreams coming true, the full completion. The World card is here. You are a little bit in a vulnerable state right now more because it looks like of the separation of this Ten of Swords from your different selves. I'm going to go ahead and read this real quickly from the book so we can get a better idea of, because then we've got the propel and the vulnerability. So I want to make sure that we cover everything there. So let me grab this real quick. Ten of Swords. End of a way of thinking. Breaking free from the person you once were. Release things which no longer serve you. Choose responsibly. Reclaiming your power. That's what I was trying to think of. The reclaiming of power. Because, you know, when you have the World card... Well, I have the book right here. Let's just... This is such an awesome deck. I want you to, you know, be able to really get as much as you can out of the Starman Tarot deck. So, an auspicious period. You have achieved success in your endeavor. Walk in harmony with Mother Earth. Gather your tribe and give your best. The world is highly auspicious and invites success in any endeavor if you walk the path of integrity and offer your work and projects in service of humanity and the earth. You are finally mastering life and are literally taking the world by storm. As a clear vessel and channel, unfazed by changes and cycles of life, you tenderly and expertly balance these compelling and natural energies. Earth, water, fire, air. The elementals are experienced as marvelous instruments that can be played together to make exquisite music and harmony which resounds through the universe. It is time to gather your tribe and be a force for good. I absolutely love this, and especially being the force for good, because you've got this angelic messenger and the enlightenment, right? Okay. So you're on this spiritual path. You've got the Ten of Swords. You're choosing the person, the best version of yourself, that path of that person that you want to be, right? You've already chosen it, actually. And then you get the World card, which come on now, we've got what, 77 cards here, 78 cards? And you get the World card, which is all about a completion of a beautiful journey that was difficult. There was a lot of challenges, but you're on a higher plane now. You're in this angelic, and like I said in the very beginning when I just pulled this card is, it's like you have all the rare cards here. Because like in the beginning of this reading, when I told you this card has never come up, and just a couple weeks ago it came up. And now it came up here with the Happily Ever After card, with the World card, with the Sun card, which is like, you know, here's your ending, your beautiful, perfect ending. And then you've got dreams coming true. I mean, this is pretty amazing. And so I'm thinking it's the Ten of Swords is because you chose that side of you, and that side of you that wants to propel into action. Oh, okay, now I'm getting it. Now, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit Guides. Okay, so Ten of Swords. You chose the spirit realm with the angelic, because this is angelic messenger, right? You're in enlightenment. You have come to full circle, and you're now in a path of sitting back kind of and relaxing and seeing all of this. It's the happily ever after. What you're being called to do for action is showing that vulnerable side of you that you have opened up to know about yourself now. There's this part of you that is a whole new experience of you, that higher self that you are coming, you have eliminated the old self, and this higher self is in a vulnerable stage right now, because that vulnerable stage is kind of uncharted territory, right? When you have all of this happily ever after, but the action that you're being called in this reading is to allow yourself to be vulnerable in that stage. because with all of this action and this happily ever after, your dream coming true, and this final beautiful outcome, you're gonna feel that, because you're kind of being exposed in a way, if you know what I mean. It's a new exposure, and it's going to be a little uncomfortable. So the action, you're being called to action with the propel card, which is propelling into action, to allow yourself to be that vulnerable person, and let your dreams just manifest. Your vulnerability, if you don't embrace the vulnerable side of all of this, that's going to prevent all of this from coming to pass, because it's going to be so difficult. And because you're just out of it. The Nine of Swords was your very difficult moment, right? It was like the straw that broke the camel's back type of thing. And because of that, you're able to ascend into this new person. But this new person on a spiritual realm is a lot more vulnerable than the tough exterior that you've always been, and that actually got you to this point. That's okay. That person was, that's what got you to this point. However, that point needs to be advanced. And that's why you're being called to a higher plane, a higher level. And that higher level is a very vulnerable stage. And that you need to allow and use your action. Any action going forward now is now exposing your vulnerable side to keep this going into the happily ever after. You can take this as a love reading if you want. There's a lot of love energy here. It's also just an all-around completion of life. It really isn't very specific on one thing. It's more of everything that you've been working on to this point. It's the World card. It's now in full completion, and it's time to enjoy the happily ever after and realizing that your dreams are coming true. They really are. Here they are. It's all right here. Very, very clear. Very clear. And you have the sunshine. So sometimes when the sunshine card comes, which is like the sun in the original tarot, and the energy behind it. And I know, because I created this deck, so I know the energy behind it. The sunshine card too is about getting out, and kind of like this. It's like getting out and being in that beautiful bright light of love and light in the world, and kind of coming out of that cocoon vulnerability hermit stage. And now all of this is in its beautiful manifestation of the completion. I love it. I totally love it. I love it. You got the World card right here. Isn't that beautiful? It's just so beautiful. And the beautiful crystal energy. You got the green tourmaline. Just to let you know, green tourmaline too does have, is used in healing work with father figures. So we don't have any divine masculine energy here, or any type of out of balance with the male and masculine and feminine energy. So I don't feel that's part of the reading, but anytime this card does come up, I like to bring it up, because chances are there's some people that will need that as part of their healing for their completion of their very, very happy life, because you've chosen a higher path. If you didn't choose that higher path and choose to go up that enlightenment stage, and choose to overcome, your shadow work here, and choose that other person, that higher being of yourself, then, well, you wouldn't be reading this wouldn't be your reading. Your reading would be something else. This is definitely for you, because you've done all this work. And to get this happily ever after card, in fact, I'm going to make this as the the beautiful thumbnail so everybody can see this, because this card just never comes up, and I'm extremely happy for you to have dreams coming true and happily ever after with the World card, the Sun, and the Ten of Swords. It's really, really very, very beautiful, as well as the Tanzanite, because it's so unique and extremely rare. So, in fact, I am almost positive it says, in fact, before I leave, I'm going to look it up real quick and make sure. I'm almost positive it is like an extremely rare. Yes, here it is. You are entering a stage of great spiritual development. Your higher senses are activating and opening, readying you to reclaim your gifts from other lives and possibly enter into service to mankind. Oh, this is just great. However, in order to complete this transition, you must own and balance your personal power, which is this right here. See, it's all right here. It's all about you're balancing it. You're choosing what is working. You can see how they're touching here. The fingers are touching. It's a perfect balance, and taking charge and being that full completion. This is great. I guess this wasn't the part that I thought where I read that it was rare, so I apologize for that. But sorry, I should have looked that up. I just wanted to make sure. It's just rare that because it never comes up in my reading, so maybe that's where I was getting that information. But I'm very happy for you, and it's a very, very successful reading. And if it came upon you, you have some beautiful, beautiful, amazing dreams coming true right now, and I am extremely happy for you. Thank you so much. I'm going to say peace out, but please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again. Peace out.